Good evening, folks. It's Pom here from Pallatrax. Hopefully this is working. I start all my live feeds off like this because you didn't know I live in the wilds of North Devon and most of the time I don't get a signal. So let's start off and see if anybody hails and pops in and says hello. Not looking very good so far. But we will hang around and here's some little icons popping up. I believe that means some people are here. So Tony Turner, good evening. No fishing. Well, I'm really struggling at the moment on the fishing front. I'm sneaking off, and I do intend, though it's really cold down here tonight, to go down there. Andre, good evening. I was just doing the newsletter and put your picture and Milan's picture in there. Sorry, Tony. Yeah, so I am going to go and do a bit of surface fishing. Good evening, Sue Graham. Haven't seen you for ages. Hope you and Rini are well. Please pass my love and best wishes on to her. Hope she's feeling better as well. Good evening, Wayne. Seeing you more now than I saw you at Paddington, and I saw you at Paddington all the time. So, yeah, we'll see if a few people bob in, and I'll make sure that there is a post gone on. James, how you doing? Long time no speak. Ian Rooker, Neil Watson. Good to see some of the old faces. I feel like I'm speaking to you on video all day. I know, it's very strange, isn't it, Sue? Me and Sue have been working hard behind the scenes all day, so hence no fishing as well. So, Paul, how you doing, mate? Good to see you again here. You're always popping in, which is fantastic. So, yeah, a few things to go through tonight, but I'll let some more numbers hopefully come along. I'll make sure that a post went up on the Team Pallatrax page as well. No doubt Sue will have sorted that, but I will check to make sure. Colin, how you doing? I hope all is well with you and yours. Yeah, so as you can see, I'm pretty shattered. It's been a long day. Sue and I have been working behind the scenes. How did the fly fishing go? Well, it went pretty wrong. I meant to do an update because I'm always happy to. Well, I didn't exactly blank, that's for certain, but it all went a bit wrong, to be fair. Have you got any further on the liquid dates? No, not as yet, Tony. Waiting for them to come back. They're busy over there, I think. Carl, good evening as well. So back to Ian. Yeah, it went a bit wrong, and I'm actually going to talk about it short in a little while here. I'll tell you about, how I was approaching it. But unfortunately, my father's not very well at the moment, and Tinny was going to come down and do the filming and one thing and another, and yeah, it all went a bit wrong. She had to go to my father's and mum's, and I started having a go about 8:30 last night, and I missed 2 opportunities, which was really frustrating. It shows you how rusty I am at it, but then I think I made mistakes, to be quite honest. I kind of didn't have the right stuff with me. It was all a bit of a rush. Got them going on the new floater pellets, which we'll talk about shortly, but I missed. It was one of the bigger fish, unfortunately. They always are, aren't they, the ones you lose? I didn't lose it, never even got connected to it. And then and as I got older, everything's failing, isn't it? Certainly my eyes, and don't really help things. And then I'm sitting there, I'm cast quite a ways out into towards the middle of the lake, and I see a mouth come up and suck it down. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's all a bit trying. So thanks for that. But I couldn't see my floater, and suddenly, so you watch the tip, so you watch the tip of your fly line, it suddenly hit into it. Oh, great, fish on. And because I'm only on a 7/8 weight, straight away it hooked over. And it was probably the smallest fish in the lake at about 2 pounds. And to be fair, it was actually hooked on the outside of the mouth, so it didn't count anyway. But and I must admit, I gave up after that and had a coffee and sat down and debated the world in general. So I do intend to rush down after here for the witching hour, which is really just after 8 o'clock. And I was late yesterday, so hopefully I can whiz down from here and just have a little go. But I'll show you in a second. But before I kick off, I'll just tell you, as always, we do have the little Sunday Slot live feed raffle. And tonight, so all you've got to do if you want to be in a chance of winning little bundle of goodies is send yes. Good evening, Trevor. Steve Thompson, how you doing? Just send yes to the Pallatrax, not the Team Pallatrax, the Pallatrax Facebook Messenger. If you would like to win bottle of the Jungle Booster. Hi, Steve. How you doing? Some of our very, very unique. I know shrink tube sounds like shrink tube, but this is a little bit special. It's none of this stuff I source from within the industry. It's all outside the industry, and yeah. And obviously, it would be rude and wrong for me not to include a packet of our wonderful super duper grips concept hook. The design, if anybody hasn't seen them, as you can see there on that picture, you can see all the little grooves that make it a third hook design, and lots of fans. Anthony, how you doing? So just ping yes if you would like to win that bundle, and somebody will be chosen at the end of the show. The show, is it really a show? I don't know what it is, but anyway, so I've got a few things to talk about. It's all getting exciting, lots of things happening. Hi Stephen, how you doing? Firstly, obviously most people here are probably team members, so you'll know some of the things I'm talking about. And I will kick off with some new products. Now, as always, I always say this. Rice. Hi, Reese. How you doing, mate? Good to see you again. The reason the laugh is I kept on getting Reese's name wrong because. But there we go. Ryan, how you doing as well? Good to see you aboard. Stephen, all good here. Thank you. Hope you're well. Yeah. It's like I say, it's a few trials, but we're all up against it to some extent, and all I want to do is go fishing, but then that's life, isn't it? So so you'll all be happy to know, and if you do know anything about hang on, let me just move. This is all going to go wrong, isn't it? Let me see. I've got a new little thing here to put my camera on. It's not quite gone to plan, but let me just show you. Hopefully, if I turn the camera around, press the right button. So, do you see this? There we go. So it's taken us a long time, and I have to put my thanks out to Tim Hodges, who's been helping me on this. But the multi-worm range, and it's in pop-ups. It's been a long time coming. Matthew Rice, good evening, sir. It's the problem is this is stuffed full of insects. So you're talking earthworm, mealworm, and silkworm. Silkworm is particularly volatile. So to actually be able to produce something without kind of spoiling it on a pop-up mix is always quite difficult. Predominantly because I don't like to use preservatives, even though a pop-up is obviously a lure. You're not giving them away as freebies. What I will say as well is don't just throw a pop-up in the water after you've used it. It is a lure. It's like flicking a bit of plastic in. You don't want to do it. So we've got the 10mm squabs, boilies, and 40mm squabs and boilies, and we've stabilised it. Howdy doody as well, John. And basically, well, you all know my favourite shape. So what I've managed to do is using a new, basically it's a form of preservative. It is fish safe, which is what it's all about. So that's the good thing. Things do move forward. And so that will be coming onto the market next week. So watch your space. Where's the competition message going to? It's going to the Pallatrax. So this page that you're on now, it goes there. Good evening, Neil. So just send yes if you'd like to get involved in. I'll just give it another plug because a few more people are here. That is tonight's little bundle of joy. If you'd like to be in chance to shout it, just send yes through to the Pallatrax Facebook page, not the Team Pallatrax Facebook page. So ping away there by all means. So yes, I'm really pleased. We've been obviously field testing it. We managed to cram, it's 30. I haven't been on the thing. Steve Dorset, another 30 on Big Haze, multi-worm. Yeah, like I say, yeah, multi-worm is a little bit special. Again, as I always go on about, it's all about the ingredients. Little 10 mils, I love a couple of little 10 mils. Are going to be used together or as a topper. But the problem has been it's taken a long time, to be fair, to get a recipe that we're happy with. Beanie, good evening, young lady. Hope all well with you and yours. So yes, I'm pleased with that. I know I say it always sounds contrived because it would appear I'm going to be plugging things, but I can't help it because I'm doing it all for me as much as you folks. Used them yesterday and they present brilliant, great. With a large pre-drill, we're going to be going. They're not pre-drilled actually, Neil, but I'll be speaking about that. Sue's been lucky to test them. She certainly has, and caught. We've all caught on them, to be fair. Hi, John. Hope you're well. So, okay, now you've kind of prodded me, Neil, to talk about the next thing. I need to order some multi-worm. Well, it does catch a lot of fish, and let me just come back to you because I always try and explain this, and it's always going to be. I suppose I'll always be doing it. I'm not apologising, but you know, I'm not here to sell anything, to be fair. I'm here to kind of draw people to the conclusions I've made, and each and everybody else. Yeah, you'll be happy with them, Tony. Steve Bryan, evening, Pom. Just a quick hi from Reservoir. Oh, you might get the fly rod in. Good man. 15mm bottom bait with 10mm toppers. Perfect wafter. There you go, exactly. So, evening, Simon. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, likewise, I hope everybody has had a fantastic weekend. It's cold down here today, so we're not sun again. Have we got the pellets on the website? I don't know. It's on Tinny's to-do list, but say we've had a few domestic problems, unfortunately, so I don't know. But there's a few things to go on, new products to go on, and I'll run through those as well. Lucky I was supposed to have, she must be obeyed to allow me access to the bank. There you go. Got to earn those points, haven't you? Got to earn those points. So we, somebody, where was it? Somebody asked me, Neil asked about, not cold, just fresh. Honestly, it's cold. It's genuinely cold. Pellets. So, pellets. We've been talking a lot about pellets on the team page. I'll show you the floaters in a minute, the 11mm floaters, which is, again, I'm very obviously, as a fishery owner and long time, you know, I suppose critique of some things within the industry that don't really fit in my humble opinion. So why we're using pellets that aren't, you know, 11 mils, Martins. So why are we using dog biscuits, for example? Oh, more light. That's better. Thank you. Oh, hang on a second. I think they might be here. Yeah. So we can talk about these as well in a second. With pellets, obviously, as having a form of fishery farming background as well, I'm always keen to make sure that what we're putting out there for the fish and the biomass in general, and it does bore some people, but a lot of people tend to be more interested. Do these pellets, well, honestly, they will do, John, but they'll have limited time because they are a breakdown pellet. But so over the years we've trialled different pellets and one thing and another, and I've now only very recently decided to put all my eggs in one basket purely down to the ingredient factor, nothing else. It's the best ingredient I can get hold of. So that's between 3 and 11mm is the normal, but we've also got a 17mm pellet here with the 15% oil content, which I'll go into in a little bit more detail. So what we've got is a pellet range. To explain, they will come in 1 kilo bags. These are eco bags. They are fully recyclable and reusable. But what will happen, and I will need to get a sample, I can see it, but I will get wonderful Tinny to bring it. So what we're going to do is we're setting up, and this is why it's taken a little bit longer. I have got sick to death of the packaging within the industry, and it's about time we did something. I was talking on the team page the other day about the plastic island in the middle of the Pacific now reaching the 1.6 million square kilometres. So got to do my little thing, and it's very, very difficult. Like, so all my packaging, like all of this, it's all fully recyclable. Yes, you pay more money for it. I don't care. I think we need to be doing things. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a tree hugger. I just think we need to do the right thing. So therefore, when it comes to pellets, I'm working on lots of different things. It will all the refills. So if you've got buckets, which most of us have, or you've bought the bag, so you've got the bag resealable, waterproof, etc., and also recyclable. But these are now I struggle with this compostable because I kept on saying combustible. So no, they don't flare up. They literally do break down, so they're like the small bags that you can put into people put food waste into, and then they go off to the wherever they go to, and they break down within 3 months, and they're basically made for that. So that's where we are with the pellets, and that's why I say loads of things happening. I'm all over the place at the moment. Million one, partly down to you folks, because you're keeping us really busy, and I've got new products coming through, and the fishery is obviously booming, and the fish are getting bigger, and it's frantic. So yes, so there'll be refills in these fully eco-friendly. They're not recyclable, they're actually eco-friendly. So that's how the pellets will come in, and I say they're 3 to 3, 6, 8, 11, and then we've got the 17 millers. And then is there a live feed? Somebody's asking me a live feed. Folks, can you go perhaps on the team page? Tinny, somebody's sending me messages here about the live feed. So let's go back to the 17 mil pellets, and I've been using them as with decent success, I have to say, and I've not really been doing a lot of fishing. I've been popping out for the odd hour. Now, the first thing I would say is get yourself a 1 mil drill bit. These are the smallest drill bits you can have. Have you considered cardboard paper sleeve tubes for hooks, egg shot? Yeah, we've looked at everything, and that's not to say if you've got some contact, John, do please message me, because it's just little old me. That's the wrong way to describe me, but I spend quite a bit of time in the wee hours of the morning when everything else is asleep trying to find things. And trying to find things that are, we've got to have. We're next to water, obviously, so we go out in the rain, so we need to find things that will work for us and not just cause us problems. So some of the things I've looked at in the kind of the cardboard genre, for example, it hasn't been what we need, and obviously at the moment I'm selling things like my hooks in totally recyclable packaging, so it is fully recyclable. It's just down to you folks to recycle it or reuse it. So but we'll get there. The trouble is, you go out there and you're thinking, right, everybody's telling you to be eco, all the government bods and people like that, and you go and try and get stuff, and there's hardly any companies that do it. And I suppose it's a bit like the lead issue, isn't it? You go out and everybody's focused on lead because they don't want change, and everybody's focused on single-use plastic because they don't want change. It's going to cost money, but it will also bring innovation. If they actually put something into law where plastics and one thing and another were, single-use plastics were banned, I mean, it would force innovation. But at the moment, I'm struggling, especially in the UK, where we seem to have sold our soul to Satan, and all and everything has gone abroad, manufacturing-wise. So that's where I am at the moment. We will move forward. I'm very, very clean. Yeah. So, anyway, 1 mil drill bit. Now, a lot of people think, difficult to see, but a lot of people think pre-drill pellets are actually pre-drill for hair rigging. That, I'm afraid, is not the truth. It's handy that they've got a hole in them, other than the fact that a lot of them aren't actually for coarse fish. So if it's a sturgeon pellet or a halibut pellet, why are we using that? Certainly as a freebie. The hole in the middle of these pellets is purely down to fish farming and breakdown rates. So basically, if there's a hole through the centre of it, it means the water can go in from the inside and push out and then break the pellet down. So better for digestion, things like that. So It's actually not for hair rigging, it's actually for something else. And we see a lot of that in the industry, a lot of kind of old wives' tales, and actually when you dig deep and things like that. Brilliant F on the hooks pants, showing the other side. Yeah, well, Dean, let's hope they do. You know, the bigger Pallatrax goes, the louder the voice, and we need to be doing all this stuff. I'm not doing it to rattle cages, I'm doing it exactly the opposite. And like I say, if we all did our little bit, I've always said, if everybody picks up one bit of rubbish a day, you know, that's millions of bits of rubbish a day. And it does surprise me, disappoints me, dismays me, distresses me then when, you know, the industry isn't doing in some areas the right thing, in my humble opinion. So anyhow, let's move forward. Let's try and be positive, because it is positive. It's all about the joys of angling. So let me turn this round. Now, this is a 17mm pellet. Okay. It's got a 15% oil content. So if you look at, let me just get the normal pellet. It's from, you know, it's the same manufacturer. So you've got a 7% oil content. So you can see that's somewhat lighter. I hope you can see that. And there we go. We've got the 17. Now, I was brought up in carp fishing in the early days when we were fishing pellets. And because they were fish farming pellets, it was stuffed with all the goodies, minerals, health elements, food source, nutritional protein, etc., etc. So pellet is just means a compressed product, so it doesn't mean anything. So when people say, "Oh, I'm using chicken pellets," that's not good for fish. You know, pellet is not made from an ingredient called pellet. It's made from whatever ingredients. So why do I use a 1mm drill bit? Hey, it's because the hole I'm going to put through here is going to be as thin as I can possibly get it. I'm not lazy. This is just a lot easier to do. And don't do what I did the other day. Got excited and it actually went into my hand. So I'm literally putting the smallest manageable hole I can get through there. And then I'm putting a topper on there. And basically that will. So what I'll do is I'll just pop that in the tank. Actually, I'll tell you what, I'll pop a few in the tank. And then you can see the breakdown rate over the duration. So I'm fishing these. I'll tell you actually, hang on a second. I'm going to get the dog out of the way. Come on, out of the way. Let me try and show you how I'm fishing these. So, did I put the one in the hole in? Oh, thank God for that. I don't know if I'm going to get this baiting needle through. My other baiting needle is down. Yeah, it's just gone through. So, like I say, what I think one of the good things here for me is you are on a time limit. So you've got to literally use this in the you know, refresh it, and it's very, very much based around the oil content. So the higher the oil content, the longer the pellet will tend to last, because the oil kind of pushes the water away. So what we've got there is 15% oil, which is the highest oil content coarse fish can manage. So anything over, that's why halibut pellets, sturgeon pellets, trout pellets, a lot of people don't know, like a carp hasn't got a stomach, it's got a digestive tract, trout has got a stomach, different fish altogether. So just be aware. So how I've been fishing this, I've literally just, you know, it's kind of bomb proof. Let me just get there. This is a trouble, folks. I'm getting old. I can't see nothing. So if you do have any questions, do shout out. So you can fish this just as it is. I have also been, let's be a little bit adventurous. I'll just, hang on a second. I think there's something wrong with my questions thing. I'll just have to check that on the other machine. Sometimes I lose connection down here, so please bear with me. So just going to put a little old it's working again now, Vince, all the way from the vast plains of Canada. Vince is doing some fantastic stuff. I'm going to get Vince on here for a as a guest in a not too distant future, because he's using doing some research using an underwater drone. So there you go. Is that what you normally? Well, it all depends, Reese, because again, it's all down to the ingredient focus. So if you're just saying you do that with all pellets, obviously all pellets aren't equal. This one you're forced to, because you're this isn't perfect, folks. The hair would be a couple of mil longer than that. So that's not a million miles away, but so you don't need a shot. So yeah, going back to that is, you know, with this one you're forced, because it will break down, as we will see towards the end here. So there's your, you know, the standard LQ link with the steam link, the shrink link kicker and things like that. Shrink tube kicker. Got some bloody glass. I know. I've got them. I just can't. I got them for distance glasses, but now I need them for short-sightedness. So use 20 pellet with a slither of yellow junk or squab. A slight marker works on any event. Works well on venues where the fishery feeders are saying grade pellet. Well, that's what it's all about, Steve. It's literally about the ingredients, and that's one of, I suppose, my missions in life is to you know, get people to really understand that it's all about what this is made of, not what the name of it is. So that will, in this time of the year, you know, we're getting warmer water temperatures, will last for about an hour and a half. Now, if you've got smaller fish, you know, roach, rudd and things like that, because it's out and out fish food, you've just got to be a little bit careful, because if they nibble away. But like on my lakes down here, Ashensworthy Pools, because we've only got perch in there, these will last about an hour and a half. But in all honesty, the way I fish, certainly with these, this is the kind of thing I'd use on a roving rod. So I would be moving it shorter than, you know, I even set my clock sometimes to move it every 20 minutes, for example, or I always will cast at a moving fish. So this is pure kind of luck, I suppose, and I do like fishing the method. I do like fishing various different ways, and I do use PVA tubing. Now, the nice thing about this is that's an 18 or 19, 20 mil tube, so you can literally put these in, and I tend to just put 4 in, let it all fall down, take it off. This is where I get the bag all wrong. Anybody who ties these, you need to always make sure that you lock it off there, and then you can pull it really tight. And there we go. So one thing with PVA, you don't. Oh, now I need a pair of scissors. There's always a challenge. I will have to call the wonderful Tinny if she's listening. I've got so much stuff on my desk here that Tins, can you give me a pair of scissors, please?
Any scissors?
Yeah, just any pair of scissors. It's only PVA. So what just for anybody that doesn't know, to get ready for the next one, just say you've tied off that bag. And then just bring that down, and then you're ready to go for the next one. My new Pallatrax braid blades, not quite, but oh dear me, they're not very sharp. So I tend to make these up on the bank, or I can make them up beforehand. Now, what you need to remember with PVA, it's obviously completely harmless, eco-safe and things like that, but when you've got the knot there, a lot of people put the hook through the knot, and the trouble is that takes a long time to break down. So never do that. Always go shy away from there. And as we mentioned, where the competition message is going today, they're going to the Pallatrax Facebook Messenger site, the one you're on now. So just send it through to that. Just say yes, and jobs are good 'un. So, and that's how I've been fishing with success. I've been kind of spraying it up. If I want to change a bit of flavour, give it a bit of zing. But that's literally how I've been catching fish. Simple, easy to do, economical as well. You know, you've got a right little parcel of food. So what we will do, let's just see. And let's see if we can get in there to see this breakdown. There you go. So, oh, dear me, it's telling me off to do because I've done that with my device. Stop rotating my device. So what we'll do is we'll leave that as well, and we can come back to that. But these 17 mil pellets, I love it. The fact is that, you know, I've got a pellet. I could ride. I'll let you try that one, John. I'll let you try that one. So just quickly going back, obviously we've been asked about the prize again then. Oh, where's the other? Oh, there it is. So that's tonight's raffle prize. Just go through to the Facebook page, Pallatrax main Facebook page, send a message just saying yes, and you will be included in the draw. So, so those are 17 meal pellets. Has anybody got any questions about those? Do shout out. But at the end of the day, it's all about the ingredients. I've got the best possible ingredients. The whole range between the 3 and 11 mil can be used all year round because of the oil content, etc. But I wouldn't suggest using a lot of the 15% oil as freebies in the winter months because basically the oil content is high and because of how the fish are in cold water temperatures, so you don't want to put a lot of that out. I think it might slow it down a little bit. When you see it at the glugging, then prolonged breakdown, I'm on the bank in the morning. Oh, right. Okay. Yes. Well, exactly. There's lots of things. That's what I always like about what we're doing here at Pallatrax is, you know, we can bring things, I can bring things to the party, but so many people, you know, do their own journey with it and things like that. So lots of options, nice range. So you've got 3 mils for the small bags all the way, but what you can be assured, it's safe, and not only is it safe, it's good. You know, if you want to fish with a high quality pellet that's going to end up helping you to catch more fish, why would you fish on an inferior pellet? And like I say, all the refills now will come in, you know, they're not going to be marked Pallatrax and all this kind of jargon anymore. It's, you know, coming in these eco-safe bags. Love moulding pellet around the stone. Yes, you can skull pellet, especially that 3 mil. You could get that. You can pour hot water over it, break down really quickly into a paste, and then you can wrap that around the stone as well. Put it out in spawn parcels and all that. Can't believe that little tump pepper has the buoyancy to hold up that big pellet. I think you'll find it's actually... yeah, it is very much down to the different pop-up mixes. And again, if you get quality, you'll get what you want. And I want a pop-up that would, in fairness, I'd like to think it will caught fish very quickly. But yeah, we want it to basically pop up for the duration, especially when you're talking about zig rig fishing and things like that. To be able to use 10 mil, that does literally hold up a size 10 is what I'm aiming for. So yeah. Onwards and upwards. So, this is the next thing. Now, this has caused great controversy. But do I care? I don't, if I'm speaking the truth, and it's provable by people who are far more clever than me. And that's a lot of people. So, when it comes to surface fishing, I'm a lover of surface fishing. For carp and trout and anything else that would take off the surface, I'd certainly have a go for. And I caused controversy this week or last week when I did a film with Carpology explaining why I use proper pellets that are designed for carp that float, and why I don't use a thing called a dog biscuit, which is designed for dogs which don't float. So hence why we've got a floater range, and I'm being quite vocal. As I've always said, and I say it on the team page, when it comes to pellets, you can go to Screttins, Coppins, Aqua, these well-known actual people and companies that do this stuff, you know, for fish farming, and therefore they're fully regulated and they will only bring out what they're allowed to bring out. And if you think about it, you can't be selling pellets for fish farming and the fish don't eat them and they lose weight kind of thing. So it's all good stuff. And for me as an angler, I want to be fishing on the best from an angling perspective, but as important, if not more important, from a fish safety, fish benefit, biomass benefit, water quality benefit. Hence why I don't and haven't for some time fished dog biscuits, because I made that mistake as well. I followed the trend and thought that was the thing, and then it was kind of like, no, these are for dogs. And you know, as a fishery owner, that was very, very appropriate. So these are coming out, the new float. We're changing things. These will come out in kilo bags. So again, it means nothing, but I can show you, as in it means nothing because I can't really show you too much. But let me just move this around. So again, it's a 11 mil pellet. Now, Somebody earlier asked about that. Les, in the process of moving to a bungalow. I'd come and help Les if I could, but I can't. So hope it all goes well, my friend. So again, you can hair rig these. So you can hair rig them for floater fishing. But again, get a small 1 mil drill bit. The trouble is, you know, the industry ones that we use in fishing. I don't want to do this too hard because so you can put a couple on those hair, you can put one, and you could put a bit of bottom bait. You can do all kinds of things, so you can turn that into, but it will be a short-term pop-up. But as you can see, I don't know if you can see, I can see, oh, there you go. So little tiny hole, the smallest hole possible, which means that water won't go in there as freely and break it down from the inside out. So that's what you've got to be very careful. But again, don't think you need to use boilies to catch everything and anything. That let me try and get into focus, that will catch so many different species of fish, as with all the pellets. And it's a very, very cheap way and efficient way of fishing. Yes, I'm in an industry that promotes, obviously, things like boilies and doesn't really go into the detail of ingredients and how it's made and where it's made and things like that. What you can be doing, if you buy from you know, a regulated, so you can go online. People say, oh, Pom, you're shooting yourself in the foot, you need to be selling stuff, kind of thing. But well, no, because I'd be lying to say you have access to these kind of pellets. Yes, you might have to get a buying group together to get a ton, or, you know, to get the price right, kind of thing. But you can't beat the fish farming market. And I tell you what, the fish farming market, the science behind that, compared to what we have in the fishing industry from a boilie perspective, is a million miles away. This is all produced to be the best and to be regulated. So yes, so that's the new pellet range. That's how I use it. No doubt other people will come up. It's like Vince is saying here, you can put broken bits of floater pellet into your, so you can smash up that floater pellet, literally put it in a bag with a little mallet, tap it all away, make up little bits, put it in your method mix, and then it'll pull your method mix apart. So again, it's loads of little ways. So a nice tip there. Thank you for that, Vince. So where was I next? What was I going to talk about? I'm just going to give this another plug because there's a few more people here. Tonight, if you'd like to win our little raffle prize, the Jungle Booster, which is what I'm using at 8 o'clock. When I go down, I'm going to show you in a minute how I approach my fly fishing. Then serious shrink, it is serious, and some of the wonderful grips. So all you got to do is send yes through to the main Pallatrax Facebook Messenger page, and you'll be in with a shout when Tinny draws it in. I don't even know what time it is, in 10 minutes or so. So what's that, Paul? I can't believe it's in 12 months. Oh, it's 12 months. Yes, it was good to see you down here, and hopefully you'll come back at some stage, Paul. The fish are certainly getting bigger. They're certainly getting bigger. And I say my mission, it's quite funny really, because because it's a brand new lake. It's a couple of years old now, and we started from scratch. I was pretty. It's funny when you come to floater fishing. Some people say, "Oh, I'll go to that lake and they won't take off the surface." As soon as we start feeding them this floaters down on Jack's pool at the bottom, we were getting, interest and take. They're taking them off the top. In Ben's, which is the next lake up the hill, totally different water, different, difference and things like that. And we're yet to see them properly take. How could you forget me, Lee? Hope you're well, mate. It's I hope that all the waters will take surface, and I'm always happy, obviously, to show people when they come down here how I would approach it. I never tell people what to do and how to fish. I will tell people don't dump lead and make sure your bait is safe wherever you're using it. But outside of that, I can point people in the right direction, because it's funny, when I had my last lakes at Pallington, so many people saw me successfully catching on the fly rod and things like that, but they never ever, replicated it. And it was so efficient, because I don't pretend to be the best flying in the world. I'm self-taught, so it's a bit of a Heath Robinson, but I can move a bait. You see a fish roll over there, I can move it from there to there literally with a few sweeps of the arm, and then you're back in the right direction. You're right on top of the fish, and they tend to take very, very quickly. You have to, you know, I would suggest you need to have a little bit of a practice before you try and go fly fishing, especially with the rod. The rod's like a big elastic band, so people say, "Oh, it's too thin to go cut." No, it's not. It's the fact is, because it's so springy and through action, it's like fishing with a big elastic band, like pole fishing. So there's loads of give, and it's a brilliant fight, and it's real heart-throbbing stuff. So yes, do think about pellet as a really good, cheap, high quality way forward, you know, and it definitely catches your fish. I wouldn't use it, in all honesty, if it didn't catch me fish. So I know it's been designed for a fish food, a source, all the right things, from the healthcare element through to the minerals, through to the food source, as I said earlier. And it's a really cheap way. Okay, it might not be fashionable, but don't make your fishing fashionable. I'm always saying to people, don't forget about cheese and luncheon meat and pulses like sweet corn, and these things all work, but we're kind of getting into an era now for all species where the proven and acknowledged and safe is being ignored by, I'm not saying all bait's bad, far from it. There's some really good bait companies out there, but unfortunately there is some really bad ones. They're making it out of ingredients which isn't good. Pellets give a massive edge in carp fishing. You're right there, Vince, but I do caution with that message that always make sure the pellets you're using are designed for the species you're after. I can't believe you can walk into a tackle shop and buy a halibut pellet that we know is going to be used in coarse fisheries. It's a halibut, you know, it's like dog biscuit. The name gives it away. You know, why would you use halibut? And me as a fishery owner, would I want halibut pellet coming in, which is a sea fish, big flat sea fish, going into my waters? No, and not because I'm being anything other than mature and sensible and responsible for my water quality. Because it's not just about what the fish does with it, because it can't really have the oil content in it. Creates a lot of physical problems, but also what's passed out is not what you want to see passed out. Yeah, you can't go that. So Steve uses Pallatrax, and you know, I use Pallatrax. I think they're a brilliant company, but there is Skrettings, there is Coppins, but just make sure they are proper fish pellets. A bit of a mad week. This landed, then lost a target. Oh, the one I lost was the one I really wanted to go. I'm sure it will come again. I was explaining at the beginning, Lee, I went staggered down there with my fly rod yesterday, and I don't know how I missed it. Well, I think I do. I was using, and I'll show you in a minute, I was using the wrong thing. It was a bit of a Heath Robinson thing, but I'm going to show you that right at the end. For those fans, and again, please, I do apologise, like the multi-worm, I'm not sure about the pellets. I will check on that. It's meant to have gone up over the weekend, but because of my father's illness and one thing, it's all been a bit stressful and frantic and one thing. But I'll just turn us round again. Let's just see if we can zip in on these. This is where it all goes wrong. Oh, there we go. So you can see already they're starting to fur up and break down. So, you know, this is tap water, so it's not cold, but it's not. But the good thing about it is it's literally sending out to the fish's olfactory. Somebody's sending me something from America there. I will come back to whoever that is. Please bear with me. Had a mint time with my daughter recently. Some crackers, looking forward to using stones. Love the grips. And that's fantastic, Gavin. That's what it's all about. Creating those memories, that's what it's you know, I always bang on about that, the memories I have. So let me go back to those who don't know. This weekend coming, Carp Society, 29th of June, Lechlade, the wonderful Horseshoe Lake, will actually be launching the whole iBite range, and we're showing people how to use it. Do not think this is a gimmick. This is far from a gimmick. I'm so happy. But these are two that I've just got in, so we've got the whole stock. And what makes these so special? I love float fishing for carp. There's lots to do. The Stones ledger system. So there's various different formats, and if I can get out the packaging. So this one is very well packed. So in the tube,
I actually got them to make these tubes because the previous packaging was pretty dull, rubbish. So what you've got with this, you've got two in the packet. So you've got your float. This version is kind of like a big, you know, pole float, to be fair. But we've got wagglers, we've got all kinds of different things. So in the little packet, you have two different lights. You've got a red and a green top, and then you've got a 40-hour lithium battery. So what I will do is I'll turn these two lights off. Just turn the other light off, and hopefully you will now I can't see anything. So there we go, and that will slip onto there, and so you can imagine how bright that is. Well, not imagine, you can see how bright that is. And for night fishing, they're fantastic. I love sitting watching that at night, and then suddenly it disappears, it drifts off, and it really does show you, especially the stone system when we float ledger. It really does, you know, show you how woeful bite detection can be. And so what happens as well, this, like I say, this version comes with the green one, so you can change over to the green depending on whatever floats your boat. So if you're around on the 29th of this month, and you're coming past Horseshoe Lake in Lechlade, just outside of Swindon, do pop in, because all of this stuff will be on show for the first time properly. And we can show you the setup we're using, and many of us are using this to you know, hoodwink a lot of fish, to be quite honest. Galen, all the way from, hopefully, well, you're going all the way from Canada. So Augusta couldn't make it. Have fun. Yeah, we'll be having fun. Don't you worry about that. Another tactic, little used now. Our stringer has been cast. Yeah, well, you know, if you think about it, that is there as a stringer. You know, you can. Stringer's old school, isn't it, Steve? And again, we kind of progressed. It is progress. I'll be progressing. I would suggest what we're doing is we're losing through the mists of time. Basically, some of the stuff that we were fishing 25 years ago, why aren't we doing it anymore? It was still real successful tactics, and stringers with a good pellet on, fantastic. Do you have any lying around, Pom? I had a look at the website, but there's no. Give me a call about that, Lee. I'm sure there is something I can do. I do actually have something that could help you. I'm just trying to get something else out of a packet. That's my dog shouting. Right, that's a lovely breakdown, those pellets. It's a shame I won't make it to Horseshoe next weekend. No worry, Alex, you know where we are anyway. So what I'm going to show you now, this is another thing that came through, and this is quite cool. This is for free lining at night. So let me just show you properly. So got two bits, they fit together. And then you've got a little clip here that you put over, and it sits on your line. And if you've ever done any free lining, and these come in the red and green, and so at night you literally see how bright that is. So your line goes through there, so it's almost like a float, and that's what you're watching. And so as soon as that starts trundling away or whatever, because that's what tends to, it's a bit like, I don't know if you know, if you ever watched Jaws, when it's got the big barrels behind it and it's swimming away, it's hooked on the big barrels. And so it's all about bite detection. And I think we're getting to a stage now where we're so reliant on alarms, we forget an alarm is an indicator, and it's not a very good one in certain circumstances, especially if a fish is swimming towards you and you're fishing slack line, you won't get any indication. So, yes, there you go. So that is another one, and it comes in the green version as well. And don't for a minute think I'm trying to flog you anything. I've got this for me. And if folks want to draw the same conclusions and get this kind of stuff and utilise it when they're fishing, it's all about adding those tiny little bit of edges here, there and everywhere, and then you'll end up, you know, in my humble opinion, catching a lot more fish. But if you just follow the narrative and things like that, exactly, Steve, I think they're really cool, to be quite honest. I think the engineering that's gone into that, you know, and we've got several different versions, but, you know, if you look at, for example,
I know the team are aware of these. I've got loads of stuff. It's like Christmas every day here for me. Another box arrives from another source or whatever. Stand by, folks. Let me just undo this all. And this. I can see. Well, I've actually gone back to the company over the weekend and said, why don't you do... Sorry, I need to show you this. So basically it comes in 2 parts that screws together. Okay. Put your 40-hour battery, and then you screw it all back together. Like I say, because we've become, I don't know, self-reliant, you know, we're not questioning perhaps enough and things like that, but we're not thinking about, you know, bite detection because we're using alarms. But alarms, as like I say, let me just switch this off so you get a better idea. I mean, these are proper bright, as you can, all of it is. And I've been looking for this kind of stuff forever, and could never ever find it. And suddenly I was reading a trade magazine, and a company started doing all this kind of stuff, and I reached out, and now we're distributing in the UK for them. So that's quite exciting as well. So with this one, to turn the lights back on, if you see there, so your rod tip basically goes in there and you clip it over. So for barbel fishing, all those kind of things where you're just watching the tip, and you literally just clip over, it sits on your rod, and obviously it's going to give you indication, and that comes in green as well. So it's all about, personally, you know, you can disagree with me, that's fine, we're all entitled obviously to our own opinions, but I think our kind of reliance now on electronic float indicators, we miss the visual part of it. And since I've been showing people, and we've been fishing the Stones ledger system on the iBikes with the wagglers, suddenly it takes people like me at my age back to how we used to fish, which was float fishing, and suddenly we're kind of going back in history, but then you really do realise how much you're missing. So you can literally, it's Christmas every day. Yeah, it is in your little world. Good old Wayne. Hi Colin, late as normal, no worries, we're here every Sunday. I should be here. Definitely folks, so much more sensitive to weight. Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you think about it, and I was trying to explain this to somebody the other day, have I got, let me look at one of the other floats here. That's not the best one. Right, okay, so it's a shame I haven't got my alarms with me, but if you think of float, okay, and so that is the top of the float. Yes, so let me try and get this. So there we go. So if you had a float, I'm not doing a very good job here, and it does that, yeah, or it does that, you'll be striking that, okay. As soon as you get indication, because that's what it is an indicator, and therefore going up is like a drop back, going down is like a full-on run. So, but you think how much, and you think the match angler, and they're fishing for some big old fish now, you know, that would be set about that. And if it did that, they'd be striking it. So now, if you put this and think of your alarm here, and you think how much that has to move, where you would be striking it if it was on a float or on a tip, if the tip was going to bend round, you'd be hitting it. You get so much. It does. It's actually incredible, you know. And you start. Well, I did certainly. I lost confidence very, very early on in my fishing, in the modern fishing with the alarm. I use it solely as a backup. You will catch so many more fish if you sat there and don't fish 3 rods, fish 2 rods that you can actually see the tips, and you will definitely catch more fish because you're getting a lot more. Are you thinking of an iBite match? Well, at the moment, I just started off. I would warble as I normally do. I've gone back to iBite because and said, why haven't you produced these for the sea angler? Because they'd be fabulous. And the trouble is the little area where you're clipping it on isn't big enough for. I've tried it on my beast casters, so and I think really it's kind of a open market for the supplier. So that's good old Tinny Lee. She's always on the ball. So yeah. So you know, without a shadow of a doubt, there's the potential to bring out a match version, especially for winter matches when you're getting into dusk and things like that. So. Yes, exactly. Takes us back to childhood. But these things never broke. They never broke. The industry, some would say advanced, some would say, has gone backwards in many ways because we're losing identity with the proven elements that will give you edges. By indication is a prime example. If you just think, that the only indication you need is an alarm, well, I'm afraid, you're going to miss a lot of bites, and it's that quickly. Pull out 50-metre line, get someone to pull it and see how long it takes. Oh, what have I done there? Press something. Hang on a second, I'm missing. Where am I going? Add to this. Yeah, Steve's just saying about, and Dean is saying about, if you pull out line. I mean, where we first started doing it, my first lakes, we would, I was with a mate, he came down the other day with his wife, Heidi, Mark Monks, and we were doing this all back in the old days where we were setting up, a pod and we're casting out. Okay, it's slightly unrealistic because it's not water and, and all the things that go on with gravity and whatever. But we would literally be picking up, and back in those days I was using the method feeders, and you'd be walking around and Mark would be down there or I'd be down there next to the alarms, and back in those days I was using very expensive alarms. Nowadays I don't. I tend to use ones that are the most sensitive I can find, and because I only use them for certain reasons. There you go. You're old enough to remember bread bobbins, and remember the little fairy up liquid tops that we used to stick on there as well. Light chips could use on a swim tip maybe. Yeah, exactly. You're very right there, Wayne. That's a good thing. I hadn't thought of that. So it's very, very interesting. There's loads of different ways you can use this stuff. But yeah, you used to wander around and nothing, and we forgot just how well basic principles. Exactly. I think we've that's a really good kind of point there. I'm just going to get my drink a second. Unfortunately, it is just Ribena. It's too cold to have a cider. It's freezing. Is it warm anywhere else? I can't believe my dagger. It's all coming out now. We're all showing our true age, and this is the problem. I was saying, me and Sue were doing some interviews today for some roles within Pallatrax, and we were all, talking about how old we're getting and things like that. But also, I get on average, about 100 applications to Team Pallatrax every week, and the average age is 55, which is showing you there's a bit of a problem. No, don't tell me that. That sounds wrong, Sue. I think you need to, yes, hot even. Lovely and warm here in Derby. Been roasting, what the god? Like Satan's armpit here. It's... Yes, well, we're obviously cool 24. Oh man, all I want to do, you see, now I've got these floaters and I'm into the fly. I just want the weather. So yesterday it looked good, and then it all went wrong domestically and one thing and another. So because we had an issue overnight, so we had to go and see my dad in the middle of the night, and so we thought, we'll stay up and we'll go down and fish first light, because I love fishing first light, and it was raining, so I'm the young buck. There you go, Lee, you see. Heidi Monks, yes. Have you... Heidi's soon to get married to Mark, which is really exciting, and I'm looking forward to the cake, Heidi. So, next pond spawning, yeah, I still haven't spawned 20. Well, look, I've started to tell me about it. So, I'm obviously Steve Hot in Dorset. I've changed my throng things. Is that the PVA one, Steve, that I sent you? You lucky man. Okay, well, anyway, it's cold here, so Zimmer frame category. So, where was I? Now I'm confused. It always happens when Heidi turns up. She just changes everything. Right, I'm going to show you how and why I fish on the surface. Let me just check the time. So it's gone well past. But all I'm doing we'll have the competition prize very shortly, is I don't use a lot, and I will do a film on it. Oh, you're looking at me, you're not looking at what I'm trying to show you. So obviously I'm an out-and-out fluorocarbon fan when it comes to fishing on the surface. I use muslin, and I use obviously the gamma because it's been irradiated, so for diameter it's a lot stronger, so I can go thinner. And then all I'm actually using is a cork ball. And I will put the cork ball, I will drill a hole in that, still time to enter the comp, or I don't know,
It's not here yet. I haven't had the results, so you better be quick. No, don't lie. You're thinking. Dear me. Yeah, I'm feeling ill. It's made me feel ill, John. So all I'm doing is literally I'm drilling a hole into the cork ball. And what I'm going to show, just for ease, I'm going to get you, I'll have to stagger over the room a second. So I'm literally, you clear all the swath, so you literally got a proper hole in there. Okay. Now, it is only a bit of wood, and it won't take the best flavour because of what it looks like. So what I tend to do is drill holes all the way around it. Okay, so I can push flavour in there, or I can push bits of paste in there into those holes, and so when I'm chucking it fly fishing, it's going out and it's got some flavour actually inside the cork ball, and it also gives it some weight. So when you say fly fishing, you're using a fly rod and a line and things like that. I'm just going to get my before and after ones I've made to go down to the lake shortly, and hopefully you'll see the efforts. So all you got to do then is you need to make sure you're using a wide gape hook, okay? And the ones I'm mucking around with at the moment, I've got the wide gapes in size 10. I think that's a mistake I made last night. I was fishing a bigger cork ball with a bigger hook, and it was just rush, and prep is all the key. So I'm using that to entice the fish through the flavour. So like you would have a if you think about it, when you're fly fishing or lure fishing, you would change the lure or the fly. What I tend to do is, I caught a dog now with my, I got dogfish. So if we go back, so I'm using the flavour to basically entice the fish, but it takes a little bit of time and effort. And so I'm drilling the hole and I'm just nipping it through there, okay? Putting a tiny dab of super glue there, a bigger dab of super glue there. And what I do is I change the flavour like you'd change a lure or a fly. Yeah, you stay safe, Steve. We'll see you again, no doubt hauling again. But you need a wide gape. But what I've also made up in there last night was a lot of people are using my Grips Chods now as a surface. And that's obviously got the outturned eye, so potentially that is something I've not tried it. Other people are using it. It's still the wide gape. So that there is all I'm catching, and I've caught more fish on that carp than any other single bait element for the time and motion. It's that easy, and they will, don't forget, when they're feeding on the surface, they can't see what's in front of them. And you'll see a lot of the times, you'll see a fish, a mouth coming up, they'll be sucking away, and they're missing whether it's a floater or whether it's my cork ball, purely because they actually can't see it. They're using their detectors, their chemoreceptors and things like that. But what's actually making them, if you get the right flavour, and it really is incredible. And people say, why are you flavouring a cork ball? And you're thinking, well, all your ball is on the bottom. They're all flavour. So all I'm doing is taking the flavour on the top, and they're homing in on a flavour. And jungle, which is the tiger nut peanut, well, this is actually what I use. I soak them in this. I'll put a load of that in just a little bag, and I'll leave 5 or 6 cork balls soaking in there, drill the little holes in them. These haven't had holes drilled in yet. And like you say, then you can just soak it and douse it with flavour. And then if nothing's happening on the jungle front, you can change over to another one, which, and just take this leader off and put on another leader with then a fresh cork ball, which has been soaking in crave or wild crab or something like that. So, honestly, you can just flick this out. And all I do then is I put some muslin, which is the floatant they use in fly fishing to keep, surface. And so, what happens a lot of time, if you don't use muslin, so you'll be fishing a surface bait, okay, and this will sink. If you have it muslin, that will sit on the top of the surface. And that is a big reason why fish spook off surface baits, because they are about to got to put the little one to bed. Thanks ever so much, Gavin. So I will go into this more detail. We are going to do a film, me and Sue, in when the sun comes out down here in Devon. But you won't believe how many fish I've caught on that, and they're not eating anything, but they're coming in and having the flavour. So, which is the same if you think on the floaters or these pellets here. So what I'm going to do now, so I don't know, it must be getting towards an hour. So you will see, and this is all good fish food, but you'll still see that's pretty damn solid. So you still see, there you go. So it started off, you've obviously got all of that breaking down, but you've still got, I can't break that. That's still very solid. So if we bring the rig out, it's been in a little bit of a shorter time. Come here, you. And so, like I say, I don't know how long was it. We should have timed it, I suppose. But still plenty of life in that. And that's obviously warm water-ish compared to most lakes. But obviously in the colder water it'll last longer. It's all about temperature. But don't forget there's only a 1 mil drill hole through that. So that will stop the breakdown even more. So again, it's all about the ingredients. And if you've got a solid ingredient, which we know we have there because it's regulated, it's properly manufactured, you can't go wrong. You will catch fish on it, and I did from the very off. So, and I never pretend to be the best angler. I just do it for the pure passion. And if you're using things like that, it's all good. It's certainly worth having. Right. So the raffle wheeler, we will round up. As you see, I'm going to go fishing. I'm going to have an hour before it gets dark, even though it's freezing. Raffle winner, Simon Brown. If you're still here, Simon, do we go that way so you can see it? Ah, Tinny's got it hacked now. So Simon Brown, you have won tonight's raffle prize. So please do reach out to me, Simon Pomeroy, on my Facebook Messenger page. Let me know your name. Well, I know your name. Let me know your address. Look at me. I'll say, I want to go fishing. I want to get the fly reel out. I've tied all this stuff up. I'm just going to walk away from this bombshell and get down there. So, yeah, you've won tonight's little goodie prize. Thanks ever so much for everybody being here. It's great to see so many people who are old faces, but also some new ones. So great stuff. As always, if you ever need to contact me, I'm available on Messenger, or you can phone up Pallatrax. I'll speak to all and everybody. Never fear. I might take a little bit of time to get back to people, but I always will do. So yeah, onwards and upwards. Let's go out there and catch more fish. Do it safely, do it responsibly, and the default is that because you're using quality products, you will catch more fish. So whatever you use or whatever company you use, just make sure it is the real deal. And do think, don't dismiss the old way we used to have bite indication. I'm going to, Galen, just for you. Have you put that film up yet, Galen, of the other night? So that'll be interesting. That'll go up on the team page shortly. My surface fishing escapade of the other evening, just free lining, using the floaters. So I caught a nice fish doing that. So yeah, don't forget, there's other ways to indicate and get a bite that are better, quicker, all shortly. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to that. You did a sterling job. So that's me, folks. Have a great week. Thanks for your time. Thanks for being here. Like I say, I will see you all on the team page next week, because I do the Facebook page on Pallatrax, and then the following week will be team Pallatrax team. So if you're not a member of Team Pallatrax, please feel free to join. It's a completely free, no hidden agenda, fun, passionate fishing community. And all you've got to do is go onto my Pallatrax website, click onto where you'll see the icon join team, and you'll be off and running and get involved. There's loads of discounts, loads of competitions and all kinds of stuff. So right, I'm going to go and drag my heavily weighted body, stagger down the hill, and see if I can winkle one off the top. So stay safe, folks. Enjoy your fishing, and I'll see you again very, very soon. All the best. Cheers.
And Mark came up saying, see you Wednesday.
I thought it was Thursday.
No, Wednesday. You're off Thursday.